How's it, everyone? It's Jamie Lee. Welcome to Inside the Beauty Room. In today's episode, we're going to be discussing the fine line between professionalism between a beautician and a client and being too close. And honestly, that line between the two is very, very thin and sometimes impossible not to cross over. But in both cases, beauty therapy is still being sprinkled throughout. So it doesn't really matter if you maintain the professionalism or if you become closer to your clients. The clients and the beautician is still getting the beauty therapy regardless. And let me explain. So I often get asked, Jamie, how come you're so close with your clients? Isn't that weird? Shouldn't there be some level of cutoff of client versus you talking and inserting yourself into their personal life or vice versa? And my response is, how can you not? So wait, let me break this down, right? Think about this. In your life, think about your hairstylist, your nail tech, your facialist, your lash girl. How long have you been seeing your person? Some people anywhere between 6 months to years, right? Now, what happens in that time frame, especially if you're going back to your person every 2 weeks, every 4 weeks, every 6 weeks, right? You're going to express your story. A client's life can change dramatically. A client can go through so many events in their life. For example, they can have many relationships come and go. Boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives. Their friendships can come and go, Their jobs will come and go. But who do they stay most consistent with? The same hair girl, the same nail girl, the same lash girl, the same wax girl. So technically, we've seen them throughout all their life event. And after a certain amount of time, how do you not get invested? Just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot, but just a little invested into your client's life. Or vice versa, right? Because even as the beautician, our clients want to know, are you going on vacation? Where are you going? What are you doing? Do you have a new boyfriend? It's the conversation. So it's only natural for that behavior, for that closeness, for that bond to develop. But like I said in the beginning, there's two sides of the spectrums, right? There's the professional clients, and then there's the clients that you just developed the relationship with, which most of the time it's heavy on that side. That's where all the tea is and the investment and the bond, that's where all the juice is. But both sides exist and they both get beauty therapy all the way around. So let's discuss the one side, the professional clients. Some clients just come in and all they need and want is the service. And that's fine. They just want to come in. They want to get their service done. They want to unload on you. And then you do great work. We listen. We still give feedback. They love their work and they leave. And then you see them the next appointment. That type of relationship's totally fine too. They're out there. I have a lot of those as well. But in that interaction, you're still getting some kind of therapy because it allowed the client to unload. And you have to listen. But even when you interact and they're unloading, you still have to give feedback. You still have to talk back. You still have to respond. You still have to give some small advice, right? And that exchange still beauty therapy. Now, on the opposite side of that, there are those clients who come in that you immediately build bonding with. You immediately build connection with. You immediately become close with. And not necessarily just because of the service. It's just because of who you are as the beautician or who they are as a client, as their person. You guys just connect. Now, when it comes to those type of connections, there's just something about a client and beautician and confessing. There's something so raw and so real about the conversation because obviously you're not inserted in their life. It doesn't matter beautician or client. You're not inserted in each other's life. You're not in each other's circle, but you see each other once a week, once a month, So there's something about the rawness in that causes the reaction for clients to share deep secrets, to share their confessions, to share their life story, to share the lessons they learn, and vice versa. And it's there in that rawness, in that moment where the beauty therapy has its value. Personally, for me as a waxer with my clients, I live for those moments because that's where the impact is happening. That's where the service impact, the talk, the beauty therapy, that's where it's impacting each other's lives. That's what makes the job fun. That's what makes the service great. That's what makes the client come back. No matter where you are, if you move, if you leave, that makes people come back is that value right there. And before anyone says anything, because it's going to come out, they're like, oh God, here we go. It's like the blind leading the blind when people give other people advice and they don't know what they're talking about. Yes, to a certain extent. There's value if you've gone through something in your life and you're sharing a story and you've experienced it, and the person on the other end has never heard experience. Now that person has knowledge of something they didn't know. And that right there is not blind leading the blind, but definitely more value of like learning, sharing, growing, experiencing, because they're like, oh my God, my client told me that, and a light bulb goes on and she said, don't do this and don't do that, or go this way, don't go that way, and vice versa. Now let's talk like on an emotional level, how there's so much value in that connection. Like just recently today, we had a client, we were all outside, me, the nail tech, and the client, and I had asked her that question, do you think it's weird that there's closeness between you and your nail tech, or us, because she sees both of us? And she goes, no, Jamie, there was a time last year she really went through a hard depression, right? And she didn't even want to get up to go to the doctor. She didn't want to do anything, but you know what she did get up for and what got her through? She goes, coming here. She was coming here, getting waxed by you and talking to you and being able to talk to somebody, getting my nails done by her, and being able to talk to her, and just I was happy there. Like that was my one out. It was like a nice like getaway, an unloading on people who didn't really insert themselves in my circle, but I still feel close to you guys, And I kind of sat there and I was like, dang, thanks for sharing, like that's I'm glad we were able to do that for you. That's why we're here. That's why, that's why we have the connections, and that's our service. So I don't know. I mean, if you look at it on both sides of the spectrum, you're still getting some type of level of beauty therapy, whether you stay just surface with clients or you build connection and you're really close with your clients. Either one works and either one is fine, But I don't know, you tell me. I don't think it's weird, but you tell me. Is it weird to be close with your beautician or your clients, after a long period of time, after so many things you've shared, experienced, and gone through with one another? I mean, how many things has your person or your client seen you through and got you through? Let me know. Think about it. Let me know. I would love to know your inputs on this subject. So we're going to end it there. I'd love to hear what you said. Please leave any comments. Let me know feedback. If you got anything from it, please like, share, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks.